Okay, first I want to say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashim Al Shah Bashim Kakodash. And get the bonus to elders, apostle, and teacher, great medicine of my learning truth. Now say Shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel. I'm probably going to title this along the lines of how the true prophets of the Lord are blowing the correct trumpet. And you have different types of trumpets and different type of instruments that were signals of different feasts or different type of alarms. You know, even when you have in this your modern day trumpets, right, going into like your alarms. You have that what's that shit? Your EMS, you know, type of alarm where somebody got fucked up. You know, they pulling through, everybody pulled to the side. You got your police cars. What you got, that like that national emergency alarm where everybody, you know, they tell everybody to hunker down. Like, you have different sounds and different alarms for different things that signal you for different things. And like what you have the prophets, the true prophets, that for their proverbial trumpet are them, bringing out the prophecies. And that's how you know who the true prophets are. Now I just watched this brother's video here to his channel, and and this is something that brothers bring out constantly. Why? Because it's relevant. This is stuff that's happening in our world, news and prophecies. Why? Because all these events are culminating and leading into something, right? So that's why you need to know what's going on. It's something that the prophets have always done. Talk about what's going on in the world, prophecies. But I was just thinking about how you have all of the, the only men who are actually talking about the Bible and correlating it with the prophecies are the men of Great Millstone, and men who teach the same as Great Millstone. Now, you have a lot of assholes who call themselves prophets, but what are you niggas actually talking about? What do you call? What does a prophet do? A prophet is a mouthpiece of the divine. And where do you find his message? You find it in his word. And you have all of these assholes. You already know that one nigga, that disgusting piece of conniving shit, Haman. And it's interesting how all of these atrocities are happening, because like brother was going into like the whole child trafficking thing, and how child trafficking it really exploded with the whole migrant thing when they were bringing in migrants, and there's undocumented children that are going tons of them that are going missing. You have the Catholic Church that owes billions of dollars in damages due to their abusing of children. People, as adults as well, but children. You have niggas that are adults now that talk about how when they were young, they were getting they were getting things done to them. And that's the Catholic Church. And all of a sudden you have and I find it interesting how you have these niggas, whether they be Haman and co, niggas who are paid by Haman, who will talk shit, and where they're Haman and company, who will talk shit about the prophets of the Lord and try to debunk them. Meanwhile, you have all of this other shit happening. And whether it be 2/3 as well, focusing on the wrong thing. And that's why when all of this shit we're at the point of no return. Whether you people want to believe it or not, everybody is starting to feel the squeeze. Ukraine fired on Russia, and Russia just fired back on Ukraine. And America gave Ukraine weapons to do that shit. So you already know, Russia said if America gives weapons, then it's going to be some shit. Russia's the bear in Revelation. It's going to be integral in taking down America. But all of these things are happening. All of these prophecies. And that's why all of you people, that's why we say you are all going to die in the worst way unimaginable. Because you niggas would rather focus on talking shit about us rather than what's going on in your world and what's actually affecting you. All of this shit going down, you got this whole thing, this feud between the Chicago gangs and Venezuelan gangs. Hopefully all you fucking niggas kill each other. That's what I'm hoping happens. But and you got these migrants that are targeting Americans. There's a lot of shit going on, and you have assholes focusing on the wrong fucking thing. You got these stupid bitches, you know, because you got Elder Natazak about to bring out a lot of videos about these stupid fucking nigger women that talk shit about the prophets. Meanwhile, what about what's going on in your community? What about all these things going on in your government that affects you? And this is how you know that all these other niggas who call themselves prophets are not they're not the men of the Lord. They're not the men who you should be listening to. And I think I saw in Isaiah mentioning dumb dogs. And that's all these niggas are. They don't have the word of the Lord in their mouths. This is Ezekiel 33:1. Again, the word of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai came unto me, saying, but hey, that's fine. More space on the chariots. Son of man, speak to the children of thy people and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon the land of the people of the land, take a man of their coasts and set them for their watchmen. If when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people. And the trumpet, in the proper trumpet is what? The prophecies. Not some shit about prosperity, or not, the proper trumpet is what the MOTB is. And once again, another big move towards the MOTB is what? It's Elon Musk, the nigga, Mr. Brain Chip himself, who's at the head of the development of that fucking thing, being he's in a top position. He's a chief operating officer, chief executive officer of the newly minted Department of Efficiency, which basically, if I'm not mistaken, is gonna regulate is gonna put in suggestions to how things should be done in government. You know, and you already know that the niggas who who is at the head of that shit, of the MOTB development, is now in a heightened position of power. Where do you think that's going to lead? That's that proper trumpet to alert you to on the timeline of what's going on. Sure, it may not be the most eloquent, may not be the most dainty in raiment, but that doesn't matter when your fucking life is on the line. See, when you niggas are getting fucking tortured to death in those damn FEMA camps, you're not gonna be worrying about what if you knew Jordans are a little scuffed up. You niggas don't get it yet, but that's fine. The Lord is gonna have to he's gonna have to what's the right word, for lack of better words. No, he's gonna have to retrieve your spirit. That whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, which is what all of you niggers are doing. And what it says, in the ancient world, you have men that would normally be on walls, because you have large walls that would be surrounding cities. You have watchmen that will be on walls. One of the visual example of that, take Game of Thrones for example. Like a medieval type of setting where they have that. Watchmen on walls, they alert you to what's going on. Or you may even have somebody that's sent through in another nation as a spy to to pretty much spy on the enemy army or whatever the fuck is going on, and get back word to to his master or to his employer. But that's what the prophets are doing, behind enemy lines, watching men who watch what's going on and reporting about it as it's relevant to prophecy. And you have 2/3 niggers, instead of, because once again, there's going to come a time soon where you fuckers' life is going to be on the line, and you're not going to know what to do or who to call on. You still have people that think that Trump is going to save them. And what? He's just another piece. And Trump is, the president of the United States isn't the most powerful man in this country. He's not the most powerful man in the world. He's one of the most powerful pieces for the his handlers to use. He has handlers. He has somebody above him. You know, if I'm not mistaken, the president only as far as his salary, it's under $100,000 a year. You know, if I'm not mistaken about that. He's not the most wealthy person in the world, and as we know, money runs everything. The president is just a figurehead. Elon Musk, he's another fucking pawn. But they're pawns used to carry out their handlers' will. The niggas who own the banks. If you own banks from which countries get their money, then you own the countries, because they owe you. He that is a borrower is servant to the lender, because that borrower owes the lender. But you don't have all these other niggas talk about it, especially that piece of shit Haman. Because like that's really when you really think about it, once again, all these other things going on and all this nigga focusing on is GMS. That's how you know that nigga's a fucking agent. Because how in God's name can you just call yourself a believer in God, refuse prophecy, and blow past all of this other shit that's going on? I find that very intriguing and interesting. Even if you wanted to, it's hard to, you have to really put effort into blowing past all of that shit, because like that stuff is talked about in the Bible. All this stuff, the sedition, the Americans being divided from one another, the country falling, that's in the Bible. Esau's going to build, but the Lord's going to break down what you see going on. I'm driving past a construction site right now. There's always some type of building going on in America, but for some reason, they just can't get it right. Things keep breaking down here in America, on the smaller scale and on the larger scale. You just blow past all of that shit. And, these niggas, too. Let me see here. Then whosoever hear the sound of the trumpet, take it not warning, the voice of the prophets, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. So, hearing the message, it's your responsibility to act on it. To act to preserve your life. How do you do that? By seeking Yahweh Shemel Shai. He's the only one that can save you. You can't do it yourself. See, all these preppers and niggas, don't let all these niggas fucking trick you into thinking that you prep, you get all your stuff, you get all these skills, you're gonna be okay. None of that shit's gonna matter. Let's say you are prepping, right? Let's say you have a homestead. Let's say you manage to evade the troops and the robots. You still have missiles to worry about, nigga. You may have guns, you may have weapons, but you may be out of shape. Or you may be in shape, and you may have all of that, but you still have your ass handed to you by a fucking robot. There's too much to there's way too much shit going on for the human on their own to deal with. If you pay attention to what's going on, there's too much shit for the human on his own to deal with. Especially those with families, y'all are fucked. If the Lord isn't with you, like I see a little chick, walking down the street, with her child or whatnot, attractive young woman, well built. She can't, I'm not sure if she have a dude or not, but She can't, walking all everything, just enjoying the cool weather. She can't handle that shit. She has a These women, a lot of them are really fucking children, but they can't expect, especially the average American. The average American can't handle, they can barely handle what's going on now. Pete, when power outages happen, people lose their shit. Not only because of not being able to turn on the lights, but also because of social media. And once again, that's another thing. Because like what? People are addicted to their electronics. When that shit goes out, that's going to be one more taxing, factor in this melting pot of shit that people are going to have to deal with. It's too much for a person to handle. That's why that's why what the Lord talks about, to rely on Him, to call on Him, seek Him while He is near, because this shit is too much for us to handle on our own. And a chick actually said it, how why is it that their leaders, the Christian leaders, promote the very same things that landed us in captivity in the first place? These sinful acts that landed us in captivity in the first place. All you Christians are cooked. But you Israelites, you're cooked. 2/3 of you who think you're Israelites who are niggas, well, you're Israelites, but you're niggalites. You're cooked too. Because there's no other way. And we keep repeating the same thing. It may sound like a broken record, but what sounds like a broken record to us? Valentine's Day, Halloween, Make America Great Again, those same revolving things year by year. That sounds like a broken record to us. In and out, work 5 days a week, in and out the club Friday night, Saturday night maybe. You spend Sunday getting hungover, and then you wake up and you go back to work. That's a broken record to us. This retarded ass lifestyle that you niggas like to partake in, that's a broken record to us. That sounds like a broken record to us. Verse 5, he heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning. And that's what you niggas are doing. Instead of actually stopping and listening, and all of these things you can easily parallel with your news, you want to turn your back and talk shit. Well, that's fine. There's a scripture that talked about how you haven't forsaken the Lord, but it's if you forsaken your own selves. In other words, turning away from the word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, it's like cutting your own fucking throat. Because what? That's our life. We haven't been connected to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and you had the prophets that died out, and then the word of the Lord was sealed up until 1969. And from that period, going to the transatlantic slave trade, after we were kicked out of Jerusalem, 78. I think it really started in 63, and then ran from I think 63 or 66 AD. Or I think time was going backwards. What the time period is I think it's 72 or 74 to 66 or 63 AD. The time period of the siege of Jerusalem. We were kicked out of the land, and then we fled. Most of our people fled into Africa, sold off by Hamites, and then the transatlantic slave trade up until 1969. We were cut off completely from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and being cut off from our life, from our power, what happened? We had no life and we had no power. So our scriptures refer to our people as dead bones, dead men walking, spiritually dead. And that spiritual death led to a lot of our people's physical death in the form of their lifestyles. Being spiritually alive, you take, what allows you the doctrine of the Lord's the commandments of life. It leads to actual life. But our people being disconnected from our life, from our power, we were basically fucking dead, getting killed, murdered, mutilated over and over with seemingly no end. But that's what you get when you turn from Yahweh Shemal Shah. You get death. Everything outside of him is death. And niggas can't deny that either, because everybody know that the black community, it is the shithole of the planet. You niggas are at the very bottom. The very bottom. Nobody likes niggas. They may like your music, they may like what they can get from you, they may like what they can use you for, but they don't like you. They tolerate you. But once again, our people, that's what you get when you're disconnected from life. You might as well cut your own fucking throat, because soon after, your death will follow. And the same thing's going on here with not taking the word of the watchman, which is the word of your creator, seriously. This is what the prophets are doing. The true prophets actually saying what's in the Bible, not making up some shit. But if a watchman sees the sword come, blow not the trumpet, and the people were not warned. Well, you know what? Those few verses were pretty much the point. Hope is that fine. Say all praises, glory, and knowledge. How about Shema Shah, Bashim Gakudash, the Ras Elders, Apostle Teacher, and Milson, Truth, Shalom, to hope like Israel, instruction, battle on Great America.